Alrighty, what is good everybody? I hope you're all doing okay. So today's video, we're actually doing something slightly different and unorthodox today. We're actually going back to Stratholme today. Now, as you can see, we're in a group of 4 warriors, obviously excluding myself, which is a paladin, of course. So as you can see, our warrior friend right here, this is just one of them. As you can see, the gear there, it's pretty good. Got a hand of rag there, which is really nice. So the unique thing about this today is, as you might have guessed, our friend right here is multiboxing, okay? So just checking out some of the gear on the other characters. You know, this is sort of what it's like. We'll just inspect one more here. You know, it's not bad gear. So yeah, guys, basically my role today in this is simply just healing. Now, the way this person usually does this farm is, because this is how they farm gold on a regular basis. They've actually got another paladin, but obviously I'm taking the position of the paladin today. So yeah, guys, what I'll be doing in this video is simply just healing and letting our warrior friend do the thing. Okay. So there's a few things that I want to talk about first before I actually commentate over the footage of what I'm doing, because this is a pre-recorded video. I recorded this like last week. So as you can see here as well, guys, here's my starting bags, starting off with 588 gold, okay? Also note, guys, this is worth about 100 gold or more per hour, depending on how lucky you get, okay? So like I say, the majority of that money is from the righteous orbs. You don't need to really worry about them selling on the auction house, because you know everybody needs them for the higher level enchants and stuff. So they will sell almost straight away. Like I say, you know, the rest of the gold is made from, you know, the rune cloth and the greys and whatnot. But also, guys, one other thing to note as well, as you may have noticed, we've finally got a new cover photo for the YouTube. If you like that, then give the video a thumbs up, of course. So yeah, guys. Now for this run as well, I wasn't really looting anything. Most of the loot went to our friend here. This is just because I was, being nice, and just I wanted to get this video recorded because I think it's really cool and something different for you guys to watch. So in terms of like who can do it and what setup can do it, to be honest, as far as multiboxing goes, I'm not really that experienced in it. Like, I don't really know all of the ins and outs and, you know, what group is optimal and what group isn't. As you can see from this group, it's somewhat unbalanced with 4 warriors, as you can see. You know, if it was me doing the multiboxing, I'd probably have like a priest healer, a warrior tank, and, you know, probably the rest mages or something, for example. But, you know, that's just my personal preference. Obviously, our friend here gets on very well because they do it quite often, which reminds me as well, guys, you know, this person here does a lot of streaming. If you like this sort of thing and you enjoy the video, then I recommend going to check out their stream. What I'll do is I'll post a link to that in the description below to this video, okay? So, again, if you do like that, go check it out. So, yeah, guys, anyway, some information about this place, right? So, the runs in terms of how many that you can do per hour, you're looking about 2 per hour as long as you don't wipe or anything. Now in this run we do wipe, I think it was like 2 or 3 times, I think it was in total. Which brings me to my next point as well, actually. In terms of difficulty on a scale of 1 to 10, obviously 1 being really easy and 10 being really hard, what I would like to say is, I'd say this is probably a 7, you know, so it's above 5, which is what I'd say is the middle ground. But it's not absolutely solid that you can't do it. But, you know, it all depends on you and, you know, how good you are at multiboxing, because obviously, as you may or may not know, that can get pretty complex. So also the program that our friend is using is iOS Boxer, I think it's called. I believe this is a paid service as well, so just be aware of that if you are going to try that, guys. So the main income from this run as well, guys, is from the righteous orbs that drops. That's why we're doing the living side, because that's where they drop. So as you may or may not know, the righteous orbs, they're mainly used for most enchanting stuff. Not entirely sure what else they're used, if they're used for anything else at all. but they are pretty damn expensive to buy on the auction house. I believe on my server they're right around 37 gold at the minute. So yeah, that's where most of the gold comes from, and if you've done this before, you'll know that you can get anywhere from no orbs drop in one run all the way up to 4 drop in one run, which is what happens with this first run with us. Actually, we had 4 drop in one run, which is pretty crazy. So, you know, as you can imagine, right, 4 times 37 is going to be, you know, over 100 gold. So in just half an hour's worth of work, that's not half bad. And obviously, of course, the rest of the gold will come from a lot of greys, which, as you know, at this level, with it being Strath, you know, most of the greys would sell for nearly a gold or sometimes over a gold. So just keep that in mind as well. Obviously, you will get a crap ton of rune cloth. Again, that's very expensive as well. I believe it's over a gold per stack at the minute. And then obviously any other kind of items that drop, like greens and blues. Also be aware there is a really good BOE blue that drops in here. It's the I think it's called the Myra's Song, or something like that. It's basically a very similar item to the Songstone of Ironforge, where it's got 18 spell damage and a load of intellect and stamina and whatever, which did actually drop in this, which you should see a bit later on in the video, I believe, if I recorded it on this one or not, I don't remember. But yeah, that can drop in here, and that you know, that goes for a good 300 gold, give or take. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Now also, guys, whilst I'm reading off my notes right here, what I want to talk about is Discord. So I know I mentioned that in a previous video. I believe it was the Scarlet Monastery video that I did, where it was the Let's Play episode. So to give you guys an update on that, it's actually going really well. So what I've done is I've had help from a friend of mine. Also, speaking of that, I'll link their YouTube channel in the description below to this video as well, as they helped me out with this, which, again, my friend, thank you very much for that. So yeah, anyway, Discord. What we've done is we've set up a Discord server. I'm going to officially announce it in this video, actually. So the name of it is called Project Paladin. A link to that Discord will be directly below into this video as well, guys. So if you are interested in joining up on that, then you can go ahead and click it and join into the server. So basically what Project Paladin is first and foremost, it's the official Discord for this YouTube channel, okay? So basically what you can do is, there's a load of sections on it. In fact, I'll show you a screenshot over there in this video in a second. It's got loads of sections in it and categories and whatnot. You know, it's basically, as I've mentioned, I want it to be like a big community thing, like a group effort. So, you know, we can all contribute and add our ideas, add anything that we find, and, you know, just all kinds of stuff like that can be found in one giant place. So it's essentially going to be like a wealth of knowledge for the Paladin class, really. You know, I've already gone ahead and posted a few things in there. I've posted some of the things that I've mentioned before. There'll be regular updates when I release new videos that will post it in there as well on YouTube. I've done a Q&A section. That's more so for me, really, about the YouTube channel. There's also a section where you guys can add in any kind of useful tips and tricks and whatever. There's a section for gear and talents as well, which I've already done. I've posted a few of my specs that I think are really good in there. You know, just all kinds of stuff like that, really, in general. You know, once it gets rolling with the ball, I think that eventually, you know, it could grow really big and have a lot of information on there to help out new people. So yeah, guys, you know, go check it out. Join in with the server. Don't be afraid to get involved. You know, I'll be on there quite often myself as well whenever I'm logged into the game. So, you know, if you want to just message me there and then on the spot, you know, I'm happy to answer any of your questions. If anyone's on my server and you want to join up for a group or something, I'm happy to do that as well. But yeah, it's basically going to be a lot of stuff like that. Also, guys, now I know this video is still using the old quality video footage that we've got, but as I mentioned in the last Let's Play episode, my new PC has finally arrived. I've installed WoW on it. I've installed everything that I need to. It's up and running and it's working absolutely amazing, okay? So what I've done is I've managed to set up WoW in like the maximum graphics, okay? And essentially what I can do is I can record the videos at max graphics in 60 frames per second, you know, with no lag whatsoever. I've tried it out in Battlegrounds, I've tried it in Ironforge, I've tried it in the open world, I've tried it with doing big pulls in stockades and stuff like that. You know, the video runs absolutely amazingly. There's no lag, there's no nothing like that. It's a lot clearer, it's a lot sharper, you know, all that good stuff that you'd expect. So in terms of an upgrade, it's you know, it's quite a big one. I'm really happy with it. So obviously today you're not going to see it, but in the next video that I do record, you guys will see, you'll see it and you'll notice a big difference, okay? So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all that I wanted to talk about today. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to commentate over the video footage right now, just for you guys to have something to listen to and, you know, just get an understanding of what's going on. Also, excuse my voice if it sounds a little bit odd today. I've actually hurt my back, so if I move in a certain position, it sort of, you know, I sort of get the twinges and it just sort of interrupts what I'm going to say. So sorry if my voice sounds a little bit weird, it's just because of that. But yeah, guys, so as you've just been watching, we've cleared a few packs out. You know, you still have to be pretty careful with this, making sure that you pull all of the mobs that you can at range, just like any other normal 5-man group that you do. As you can see, I do tend to pull some of the mobs myself, just because Exorcism has like a 30-yard range. I'm not sure entirely what the range is if you use the shoot ability. I think it's like 20 or something, I don't know. But yeah, so what I've done there is I've tried to basically reduce my overall threat. If you look at the threat meter as well, it's kind of weird because it isn't showing the warriors on there. But you know, it's no worries. As you can see, they take down the mobs pretty easy. And the only issue with this is if you're healing it, it does get a little bit messy with like everyone losing health at the same time, because obviously there isn't one dedicated tank, so the mobs are just going to attack all of the warriors at once. But it's interesting to see, you know, watching all of them charging at the same time. It looks pretty funny. So yeah, guys, you know, as you can see, the health's going down pretty well on the enemies. I believe this is where we pull by accident. Yeah. So there you go. You can see the second group pull in there, and this is where it gets a bit too much, I'm afraid. So as you can see, I bubble there and I start healing everyone the best I can, literally just spamming Flash of Light, and you know, unfortunately they're all going down at the same time. See, I feel that in this situation, if we did have a dedicated tank, I think we could have survived. But when everyone's losing health at the same time, it's just it gets too much in my opinion. So if you do this, just make sure that you're extra cautious, and you know, you don't pull any extra packs, because that will most likely wipe you, of course. I mean, I imagine it would be different with like a mage multiboxing account, because obviously with mages what you can do is you can freeze everyone and you've got massive AoE damage, and you know, I imagine that might be better than 4 warriors and a paladin. But you know, like I say, I'm not entirely experienced with the whole multi-boxing thing, so you know, it's entirely up to you guys what you do. And as you can see there, guys, as well, we've got another issue of like some of the caster mobs hitting us instead of them. You know, so it gets a little bit difficult in that sense, and as well as you just seen there, there's a patrol there that just jumped in again. So what I would do personally is just when you do pull a pack, just make sure that you pull them back as well as charging into them. Also, you can see the supply crates there. You know, don't forget to loot them, but when you do go to loot them, just slowly walk up to them, because what will happen is, if you can loot it, you know, it won't show anything up at all, but when you get to a certain distance to it, it'll have on it disarm trap in red writing. If it says that, then just don't loot it or don't go near it, because obviously, as you can guess, there's a trap on it. So what will happen is, if you do trigger that, then something will happen, like a load of the maggots will jump out and start attacking you, or a load of rats will, or whatever. So just don't bother doing that if you see that. But the good thing about looting those crates is basically you get a lot of health potions and mana potions. You can also get things like scrolls. I think you get food as well as some grey items, I believe. But the main thing to get from them is the holy water, which, as you know, is kind of like a bomb where it does like an AoE damage, but it's only to undead mobs. So, you know, if you are a rogue, for example, you can actually solo farm these. As you've seen there, it just said disarm trap. But yeah, as a rogue, you could essentially come in here and solo farm these over and over again. The only downside is obviously they're soul banned. But if I was a rogue, I would, you know, come here like once a day, do it for the 5 resets and just stack a load of it ready for Nax. That's just what I would do personally. Of course, you don't have to do that. But yeah, it does certainly help. So here we are, guys. We've essentially done the first lot of trash, and we've got to the main living side. So the living side is basically where, you know, all of the Scarlet Crusade people are, hence the name living side. Okay. So this is where you start getting the drop chance for the Righteous Orb. So, you know, when you do this, make sure that you're very cautious, because these guys do hit hard as well, okay? And just be careful not to overpull any packs here as well, okay? What I would do is, instead of doing what they're doing there by charging in, what I would do is I would have the whole group standing far back, like where I was just there. I would have them standing quite far back, and I'd have just one character range pull them. Now also, speaking of that charge that they did to me, the way to avoid it is what I've been told is basically you have to stand at a certain distance. Like you see that, it basically interrupts you from healing. So the way to do it is to stand at a certain distance. Now I forget which distance it is, I believe it's 8 yards. That way, you know, they can't charge you, but also they can't attack you with any kind of cleave abilities. So if you are going to do that, just try and stand that distance. See, at this point I didn't know that. It was only later on down the line that I actually figured that out. So yeah, this is also, I think, where we do end up wiping, because as you can see I'm pretty low on mana at this point, and they're all taking quite a lot of damage. And obviously I've got a lot of mobs on. Well, I've got a skeleton on me. I've also got a caster on me in the distance. Yeah. Oh, actually, I think we might survive, you know. We'll see. Like I say, guys, this is fairly new to me, because I was the one that played the game when it was happening, but like I say, it was like a week or two ago now when I actually recorded it, so I don't really remember what happened. Yeah, I think we survive it. And as you see there in the distance as well, there's like a maggot on one of the warriors. A big green one as well as the little one. That's because obviously the trap was triggered. So just be aware of that, guys. Yeah, I think it's a wipe. You know, no mana, no HP, can't really do anything. Yeah, so at this point it's pretty much over. Okay, so here we are again, right? So what we've done this time is we've pulled them round the corner. As you can see, it's working a little bit better. We've still got the mage there in the background, but, you know, we're going straight to him, no problem. So as long as, you know, your tactics are fine with this, you could essentially do this fairly easily, to be fair. There's another supply crate there, but it's got a disarm trap on it. I believe this one right here is fine to take, though. Yeah, it was. So as you can see, when I open it up, guys, as well, we'll see what we get. I know there's like a holy water there, as well as some food. Yeah, there's an axe there as well. So also when you do this bit, be careful, because I believe when this pack here dies, it summons the boss, Timmy the Cruel, I think it is. So just be aware, because he patrols around this little courtyard bit right here. So just be careful not to pull him if you're low on HP or mana or whatever. And there we go, guys. We picked up our first Righteous Orb. And as you can see on my server, when I click on it in a second, it should be worth about 37 silver. Sorry, 37 gold, I think it is. There we go, guys. 37 gold, 50 silver, okay? So we'll just drink up and then get ready to go again. So, I mean, this is basically it, guys, really. I mean, there isn't really much more to it other than just, heal the people that are getting low and DPS the mobs down, really. And, thanks a lot to these orbs as well. It's this gold farm is basically worth at least 100 gold per hour as well. So 2 runs an hour. That's a good 100 gold or so, give or take, from the orbs that you get, as well as the rune cloth and the grades and the actual money that you pick up as well. It's quite a lot, to be fair. I think this is where we wipe as well. I'm not too sure. Oh no, we survived. That's good then. And there's another righteous orb, as you can see, guys. So that's 2 already, and it's only been about 5 or 6 packs that we've killed in this side. So I think this run in particular, we got really lucky in terms of the drops that we got. Yeah, it was sketchy. But yeah, we did this pretty well, guys. Like I say, as long as you're pretty careful, this isn't too difficult to do. But like I say, it can get really difficult really fast if you do end up in trouble with pulling extra packs or whatever. So just be very cautious about it. In terms of doing it yourself, where I wouldn't be here and he would have the other Paladin with him, I can't actually say how difficult that is, or even how it would work for that matter. Because obviously he would have to bind his keys to have the Paladin heal different members of the group. So I'm not entirely sure how he would do that. I imagine what he would do is he would have Flash of Light in like a macro 5 times across his action bar, with each one targeting different members of the group. And obviously when he presses his warrior rotation, obviously the different buttons will target different characters. I imagine that's how it works. But like I say, I don't really know, guys. So yeah, this is pretty much it, guys. What I'm going to do is I think I'll skip to the end now, so you guys can see sort of where we get to and how it goes, really. Okay, so just bear with me a second. So also, as you've just seen, guys, as well, what we've done there is we went down to the Cannon Master area, but we didn't actually kill him. We actually skipped him. Now, according to our friend here, basically, you lose gold per hour, like you just said there. So, of course that's in his opinion. I mean, I wouldn't know. I've never done this before, as a solo at least. So, if it really does do that, then that's fair enough. But I would at least try and loot the bosses, because obviously I'm pretty sure most of the blue items that drop from the bosses here are at least 2 gold in vendor value. So, you could always try that. As you see here, I'm on Atlas Loot and I'm looking at the price of some stuff, but obviously we get in combat. So yeah, guys, I mean, it's up to you if you do it, and depending on how fast you do it. If you can do a run in like 15 minutes or so, then yeah, definitely kill the bosses, because it's extra money. But if you get into the half an hour point and there's another righteous orb as well. So that's 3 so far in this run. But yeah, anyway, so if you get to the half an hour point and you sort of, not quite finished yet, I would say just leave the bosses, because I'm pretty sure that if you disenchant the blues, the shard that you get isn't worth a lot of money. I'm pretty sure it's only worth like gold. So for that, you would essentially rely on the vendor value of it. But yeah, it is what it is. So as you can see right here, we're about halfway through the actual living bit, so we'll just skip forward a little bit more. Boom, and there you go. There's the 4th righteous orb, as you can see, that we just looted. So that's 4 in one single run. Now don't hold me to this, because obviously I'm pretty sure that's a very rare occurrence to see that happen. Hey, but if it actually does drop like that on a regular basis, this is even more valuable, and I would say, this could go as far as like 200 gold an hour. But yeah, this run, I imagine we got really lucky with that. So yeah, just to show you guys sort of, how good this place is if you can dial it down. Because, you know, people say warriors can't really farm gold, but that may be true. But if you're a multi-boxing warrior, then, you know, I think you can farm gold. So here's where it gets pretty intense. I believe this is a wipe. Yeah. I think that was a patrol that hit us there. So yeah, again, always be wary of that, guys. Okay, so we'll just fast forward a little bit more. Okay, so here I am just checking out the Atlas loot of, you know, sort of what items the last boss can drop. Now, the reason why we wait in this room is because of this patrol here. They always come out after you've killed those mobs there. Okay, so we'll just take these down really easily there. Now, when we get to this point, you'll come to this guy here, Activist Galford. Okay, now this guy does he's not really that difficult, but he does like a nasty fire attack. I think it's an AoE fire attack as well. So what I do in this is I switch over to Fire Resistora. Now, if you watch how we do it, we handle him quite easily. Now, there's a certain tactic that we do, and also, as you just see there as well, Flask of Distilled Wisdom, the recipe for it. So that's the reason why we killed the last boss, which it's not this guy, it's not Gelford, it's the guy behind us that turns into the demon. So yeah, what we do is we fight this guy here just like this, and then when he looks like he's about to do that fire thing, we obviously run around the line of sight to avoid the fireballs and stuff. Okay, so Burning Winds, I'm not entirely sure what that did, but obviously I just make sure that you dispel it straight away. Okay, so you know this is all it is really. It's just a kite him around quite a bit and stuff like that. Now, as you can see as well, he does hit pretty hard, so just always be cautious when it comes to that. Okay, so there you go. He dropped the Devout gloves. Okay, so I know they're not worth a lot of gold. Probably worth like 2 gold or something. Yeah, free gold 80 there. So, you know, it all adds up, these little things. So we'll just res up, we'll heal up and get our mana up and stuff like that, and then we'll take on the last boss. So like I say, guys, you know, the only reason why we do take this final boss is because of the chance that he has to drop the recipe there, which is worth a few hundred gold. So I'm not entirely sure on the drop chance of it either, but I imagine it's somewhat high, probably over like 1% or something. Okay, so this guy as well, he's not too difficult to do. All you do is it's basically a tank and spank until he turns into the demon, which I think is about 50% HP. Now, the only thing to be cautious about is obviously that stun there. So just make sure that you heal. If you're using a healing class, just make sure that you do bubble out of it or something like that, and you know, you should be fine. There we go. Okay, so it's more like 75% HP that he turns into that. Okay, so just this is where it gets a little bit harder, but not too much more difficult. As you can see, he hits the other characters quite hard now. Okay, so he goes down quite fast as well. And there we go, he's dead. So he didn't really drop anything of value on this run, I don't think. So we got those items there. We got that, which is worth 2 gold 50 to a vendor, and there 2 gold 10 to a vendor. Nothing really good about those items, to be fair. But you know, that's basically it, guys. That's the entire run. I've not shown you literally every single pack. That's because, as you can see from the timer, this run ended up being like an hour long or so. As I said, guys, you know, if you are good and you don't wipe, then you can essentially do this in about half an hour. So that's just one thing to think about, okay? But yeah, guys, this is pretty much it. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. As you can see from our bags as well when I open them in a minute, we don't really make a whole lot of gold in terms of money that we've picked up. So as you can see there, we've got 593 gold there, okay? We got like that axe as well from the, what's it called, the supply crate. We've also got a lot of mana potions and health potions. We've got 3 Stratholme, holy water, but you know. So what did we start off with? Was it 588. So if it was, I think we've made like what, about 5 gold give or take, and that's just from the money that we picked up. So yeah, guys, like I say, this is pretty much it. I didn't want to show you the whole thing, every single little bit, because obviously it's like an hour long. I want to try and keep these videos a little bit shorter, I think. So what I'm going to do is with this, I'm going to add it into the WoW Classic dungeon farming playlist. This isn't, well, it kind of is Paladin specific, because the way we've done it, we've used the Paladin, of course. Like I say, in terms of how you can do this, I imagine you can do this in a lot of different ways, okay? But as for can you do it or not, like I say, I'm not entirely sure, because I'm not an expert on that. But yeah, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed it. I know it's been something different today. The next video is going to be recorded on my new machine, so you're going to see a nice improvement in the quality of the graphics. So yeah, guys, this is WoW Classic Paladin Gold Farming Stratholme Multiboxing Edition, okay? Hope you've enjoyed it. Also, make sure that you go on Discord if you are interested in that. Don't forget about that. As for the people that I've mentioned as well, thank you very much for your help. If you're interested in looking up them, then go ahead and check them out as well, guys. So until the next one, see ya. And as always, if you've not already, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel, as this helps me out massively. But when you do, don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified when I release new videos. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, then show some support by giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your friends. Well, until the next time, see ya.